Welcome to CrossYoga and Just Yoga with me, Ria. Today I'm going to guide you through a great power yoga class, so get ready to get sweaty, happy, and find rest. And today I'll invite you to start standing on your mats. You might be standing a little bit more distance in between your feet than hip width, just to ground yourself really firmly on the floor. Stand tall and rotate your shoulders a little bit back and open up your palms. And if you like, swaying a little bit from side to side and move as you breathe, you can do that. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And letting go of things you need to let go of today. What are you holding on to that you don't need anymore? Things you can just press pause on as we'll be moving on our yoga mats. I found a quote that I'll just really like to read for you. It says, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant." Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant. By Robert Louis Stevenson. So maybe let go of results and of efficiency, of things you might normally would take with you on the mat. And let's just plant some seeds as we move. Maybe some seeds of rest or some seeds of strength that will help you during the day. Now step to your front of the mat and maybe here there's hip width distance, and then slowly lean forward. Of course, you bend your knees as much as you need to grab a hold of your elbows, sway from side to side. And if you want to use your Ujjayi breath, that snoring, exhaling sound on your exhale, you can do that. And let's warm up ever so gently. So take your right arm to the front and follow your hand there with the gaze and wrap it around down on the floor. Take the other arms, lift it up, elongate. So you almost lift up your spine halfway and moving into a forward fold. I like to use my breath for this, so I inhale as I lift my arms to the front and up and back. Exhale as I draw my hand down. Inhale to the front and up. Exhale down. One more time on each side. And then step back into your down dog. You might let go of the floor, just one wrist at a time, draw some circles, or I call it star hands. Wiggle your hip, bending your knees, soften everything. Still warming up a little bit. And let's do a version of Vinyasa. Inhale to plank. Use your knees maybe the first time. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting up your chest. Exhaling, knees on the floor, hip back behind the knee. Stretch your armpit, shoulder, then come forward again, tuck your toes under, find your plank on your knees, and lift up and back, down dog. Let's do that one more time with the breath. So inhale to your plank, exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, move your hip back, stretch your arms. Inhale, move forward, finding your plank. Exhale, down dog. That's a lot of information. We do that a few more times. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, knees on the floor, hip back. Child's pose, kind of. Inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. Just adjust your stance. And let's do that 2 more times. Plank. Low plank. Tuck your ribs and elbows in. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Move back, child's pose. Exhale. Inhale, plank on toes or knees. Exhale, down dog. One last time. Plank, inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, moving your hip back. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. That ought to do it. Now lift your right leg up towards the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Maybe you look underneath your armpit, feeling your left shoulder taking more of the weight. And then kind of square off so that your whole body weight is distributed evenly in left and right shoulder. Bending the knee, tucking the knee under. See if you can reach the armpit, not taking your knee outside, just underneath your belly. Reach the armpit there or the elbow. Breathe. And then scooch that foot to the front. Warrior 1. So extend the back foot out. Reach your arms up. Warrior 1. So really go deep. Sink down. Closing your hip with this left hip that we need to move a little bit further forward. Gather your hands in front of your head there on top of your head and lean forward. Let's use our arms for cactus pose here. So take your arms out as we're standing here, squeezing your shoulder blades. And you might do this with your breath. So you exhale, so take your arms down. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. 3, 2, and 1. Both hands down, step back, down dog. Grabbing the fingertips firmly on the mat. So what are we sewing right now? We are sewing great shape and strength. Left leg lifted up, bend the knee, drawing the knee out and up as much as you can. Let the heel sink in towards the buttocks. And as we did before, you might choose to look underneath your left armpit. And then squaring off your shoulders, distribute the weight. Engage your core even more as you move into your plank. Hands and shoulders above each other, knee reaching the elbow if you can. Breathe. Also if it's difficult. And then land that left foot more or less elegant there. Warrior 1, back foot a little bit out to the side, reaching your arms up overhead. Stabilizing yourself by kind of pushing into the floor with this front foot to the front and the back foot moving a little bit back. Humble warrior, or at least a version of it, leaning forward, gauge your core, first palms together, front of your head. And let's do some cactus arms, spreading out your fingers, shoulder blades engaged, drawing your elbows back. One more time here. And then our count of 3. Exhale, 3. Inhale as you reach forward. 2. And 1. Fingers on the floor, lift the back heel off, step to the front of the mat. Fold forward and release anything you need to release. And then I hope you're ready to get into your thighs. Sit down in your chair. And you don't need to gather your feet. I like the more like solid foundation here when you have a little bit of distance. And then you take your right leg and cross it over like we do in our eagle pose and sit low. Draw your hands down by your side if you can keep your balance here, and let go of the right foot as you lean into a version of Warrior 3. Really elongating from the top of your head to the heel. Lowering down the right foot there at the back end of the mat, high lunge. Sinking down, still quite much for this left front thigh. And then both hands down. Step left leg back into 3-legged dog where we were just a second ago. Extend the leg, get a little bit of release on the quadriceps. Then closing the hip and shoot the left leg there to the front again. Step the other leg to the front. Forward fold with both legs stretched. Chair pose. Again on the top, this time on the other side. So left leg kind of lifts up, scooch over. You don't need to wrap unless you really like it, but I like you to sink low and really sit down. Draw your hands down by your side, rotate your shoulder blades back. Left foot comes back. Navel in. Stay strong as you breathe. See if you can lower down left foot at the back end of the mat with some sort of control. High lunge. Leaning forward, grabbing the floor with the hands, right leg up and back, hip opener. Keep bending the knee just a little bit longer. Stretch out the leg. Keep it lifted, lifted, lifted. Closing the hip, and now you can bend your knee again, step it to the top end of the mat. Step the other foot to meet the front foot. Fold forward. One more time on each side, chair pose. You don't need to kind of do it with your breath. Just breathe as it makes sense to you. Move a little bit slow. So lift up, right leg, scooch it over, squeeze the inner thighs like you're taking juice out of a orange. Arms down by your side, right leg moves back, steady gaze on the floor. Feel hamstrings on both legs activate here. Lowering down right foot, high lunge. And just adjust as you need. That pelvis underneath yourself. Both hands on the floor, 3-legged dog with hip opener. Left leg up, bend it, open, open, open up. Stretch the leg, point the toes as a ballerina. Closing the hip. And see if you can say in a slow-mo tempo, knees underneath yourself, and see if you can land the foot there. Step the right foot to the front and fold forward. This is our break. Chair pose. Left leg crossing over. Again, squeeze. Arms down by your side, releasing left leg. Warrior 3. Kinda. One more breath here. Stay strong. Lowering down that leg. Adjust your stance. It's kind of a bumpy ride, it might be. High lunge. Both hands down, 3-legged dog, hip opener. Right leg goes up this time. Bending the knee. Extend the leg. You're almost there. This time, just leave the foot on the floor. Down dog. Kind of a restful pose now that we've been through everything else. A regular Vinyasa flow, plank to low plank. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Exhale, down dog. If you jump, move your way to the top end of the mat, fold forward. And find mountain pose, high mountain, and hands down by the side. Close your eyes and take a moment of breathing and finding a bit of rest. And open up your eyes again. Let's have a little bit more fun with different postures. This time your feet, knees as much together as possible. Now we have different sizes, so it might not be like possible to squeeze it all together. But find chair pose like this. So everything as firmly together as you can. Palms in front of your chest. Now notice that we don't lift the shoulders up as we move to the side. Okay, keep them down and take your right elbow and hook it kind of on the side. That you might hook it first and then doing your prayer pose. And stay there for a few breaths. Let your hips sit low so you feel your thighs yet again. And keep the twist as you try to release your left foot. Lift it up and lower it back and keep twisting, maybe more firmly through this left side. Extend the back leg, lift the heel off. Release your twist, warrior 2. So pivot the back foot around, align it with the short end of the mat. And sink really low, so lots of distance. Oh, it looks like I've got a crown now on my head. I'm sorry. That looks hilarious. Oh, anyway, here in Europe we have Santa Lucia. It's a Swedish tradition. So as we are staying here and breathing, I just want to say, so every December the 13th, we have the tradition of someone with this kind of Advent thing on their head going around with singing with candles and stuff like that. So I was just reminded of that. So I was standing here. All right, enough fun. Reverse your warrior, lean back and sinking really low into the front leg. And let go. Half moon. So I like to just push this foot a little bit closer. And that's going to do the kind of advanced variation where I lift off all of right side all at once. Now, if you don't do that, you might lift up right leg with both fingers on the floor. And then when you feel like you're kind of there, you can lift up right hand as well, maybe. Gaze on the floor. And maybe you feel like you can take a hold of your foot there, kind of binding half moon. Let go. Release the foot to the back end of the mat. Warrior two. And now that we were in the binding, we continue with that. If you know your shoulders are kind of tight, you might take a strap or a sock. Lean forward, take hold of the floor. This arm moves up and back. Underneath the knee joint there, see if the fingers can reach each other, stacking the shoulders. One more big breath. Unwrap yourself, step back, down dog. Vinyasa, inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down, taking your time. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now make sure those fingertips are firmly on the mat. The shoulder blades are squeezed together on the back. Ears and triceps, biceps aligned. One more breath. Jump or walk to the top end of the mat. Knees and toes together. Oh, the other side, here we go. Chair pose. Now you know what's coming if you can remember it. Twisting palms together. Now rotate the shoulders back, consciously aware of where the shoulders are moving as you take your left elbow and hook it on the outside of the knee there. And sit low so your hip is not higher than your head like I am right now. Sit down. Feeling the thighs yet? I am. But we're staying a little bit longer. Left leg this time. See if you can release it and keep your balance as you slowly find the back end of your mat. Again, extend the back leg. And move your thumbs towards your sternum. And let's release for warrior two. Arms out and get more distance than you're used to in between those heels. So you'll get more into your front thighs. But still making sure that the back foot is firmly grounded on the floor. And this back leg has a micro bend. Looking to the front. Staying here until your thighs begin to kind of shake. Half moon. All right, I like to try again. Lifting all of left side at once, or take the leg first and then the hand after. See if you can stack the shoulders, stack the hip bones, flex the lifted foot there. And if you're up for it before, with the binding, it might be a little bit hard actually finding the foot up there. Grab a hold of the toes or some of the foot. One more breath. Release. Lowering it down, warrior two. Are you ready? Binding. Front hand down. The other one goes up and back. So you can stay here if that's best, okay? No need to do even the second thing, this elbow underneath the knee joint and even finding the hands. If you have a strap, you'll just put that in this hand and see if you can hold the strap. Kind of feel like I'm gluing in my shoulder to my knee. trying to lift the front top shoulder up as high as I can. Leaving one big footprint of my front foot on the floor. 2 more breaths. Let go. Come back, down dog. Vinyasa, move to plank. Low plank. Inhale, cobra. And then find child's pose. Let your knees stay on the floor. We're going to move more into the core for the next little bit of time. So up on your knees and come down on your belly, toenails on the floor. Take your hands down by your side, thumbs pointing in. And then you kind of just gather your thumbs maybe behind your head, or even grasp your hands here, squeezing the shoulder blades back, lifting the chest off, maybe the legs as well. Pubic bone kind of pulled down into the mat. And we're going to stay here for a little bit. So find your peace with it, knowing that you're sowing lots of strength right now, even though you don't feel like you're harvesting it. Let go. Stack your hands. Fold your mat here at the top end. Just for the sake of your elbows, we're going to do plank on our elbows and play a little bit with it. So I like my hands here on the floors. In the beginning, I was always gathering my palms, but it's about the rotation in the shoulder joint. So I like just to have my hands here for a more steady hold. All right, let's move the hip a little bit from left to right side. Small movements that can be done on the knees. And even though it's small movements, it's pretty intense. And it requires a bit of strength to keep going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Make it up on your knees, tabletop, and here you can kind of release any tension you would feel in your shoulders or your abs. Going more into the core, you can always put a blanket underneath the knee joint. Right leg up and back without rounding the back. Left arm to the front, so a diagonal kind of a situation here. And then you take the knee and elbow in, this one, I guess most of us know, and take it out. From here, move your right leg to the right side, left arm out to the left side. In again, aligned with the hip and the shoulder, squeeze it in. Here you can lift the spine up a little bit. Flatten your back, out to the side, in again. And maybe you exhale here. Inhale to stretch out. Exhale, moving out to the side. Inhale and exhale. A few more times. Working not too fast. Last time. And lower down. This is kind of a whole body workout situation, right? On the other side before we regret it. All right, extend and then round as you tuck in knee and elbow. Reach out, elongate, but navel in. reaching out doesn't feel good for any reason, don't do it. Just stay with this one, squeezing in and extending out, okay? So you don't have to reach the legs out, much more balance there. And as long as you keep a flat back and extend or flex the foot so the toes are pointing down, you are doing an excellent job. So stay with me last few times around. It can be a little bit heavy on the back if you don't engage your core. So make sure you do that last time here. And do what you need to do. And sit down. Now you take your feet to the front of the mat where your hands normally are. And then we do a little bit of lifting up and down. Now, if that doesn't work for your back, just want to show you what else you can do. You can do kind of a situation where you just keep your pelvis stable and just tuck down the toe once at a time, okay? This is an alternative of what we're going to do now, because this is, I think it's hardcore. Maybe you don't think so. Alrighty, so slowly find your boat pose. Remember that lengthening, broadening in front of the chest. And then slowly tuck your chin towards your chest, coming down into more like a floaty situation. Floating here, using your core as you sit up in your boat pose again. So we're going to go up slowly a few times. Stay floating for 1-2 seconds before you sit up again. 2 times more. Breathe. It's hard not to come up too fast. Floating with me. Slowly, slowly, slowly coming up. And sit down. All right, now I'm turning on my mat, but you're not. So you take your right shin and align it with the short end of the mat. All right, I am just turning. So you stack the other leg. Again, the shin aligned with the short end of the mat, probably for you, where you're seated. Try to stack knee and wrist. Okay, so you have a triangle pose of the mat here. See a lot of people hugging in the knees towards the groins. No need to do that, okay? Just sit tall. And if this doesn't work, just find a comfortable seated position and then lean forward. This will get into your max and your thighs out here. Either way works. So close your eyes. And make sure that you can relax your thighs. Welcome to do a little bit of assist on yourself by kind of noticing what's going on here, squeezing in. And if there's more space in your thighs, you can always choose to lean forward. A little bit or a lot. One big breath. And sit up again. Now I know feel it in both sides of the thighs, but we're going to do it the opposite anyway. So left thigh on the bottom here, maybe aligned with the short end of the mat. And the other one again on top. Both sitting bones on the floor. It might feel different now, so don't do anything on this side that's not good for you. If you can't breathe deeply and somewhat slowly, and you're just doing something that's too much. Okay, so step back a little bit and see if you can find a more easy version. If you were cross-legged before, you just cross the opposite side or the opposite leg or whatever in front or on the top. So let's just stretching here. Maybe go back to that sentence. Is there anything that you are reaping or want to reap every day to make it feel like a good day? It can be other people's approvals that you want to reap every day, or praise or whatever. So easy to want to focus on the things that we can see and get instead of what we can sow. At least I think so. Release. Oh, I like to release a little and extend your legs out. We can do Plow Pose. You might already know that if you have neck issues, don't do Plow Pose, just sit here. If you want to watch Plow Pose, we don't want to move our neck as we're down there, just watch for a bit. So I'll tell you when you're good to go. If you want to do the shoulder stand before, just to play with that, welcome to do that. So you try to stack shoulders, hips, and feet. And the Plow Pose would then be extending your leg over the head. Maybe the feet reach the floor, maybe not. This is where we want to stay still. Okay. So if you've seen enough, try to do it. And I know that belly and fat and all of that can get in the way, but just do as your best as you can. As you come out of it, don't look at the screen, just listen to my voice. Bend your knees, take a hold of your hip, and then slowly coming down so you don't like crash down, but come down with a bit of control. Bending your knees, let your feet reach the floor, and just relax. Get close to finding a little bit of rest. But kind of squeeze in here on my mats. I'm gonna do a reversed pigeon pose. If you want to do a regular pigeon pose, move around on the mat. Right leg out to the side and take a hold of your left thigh. And the more you pull this left leg in and the right knee out to the side, the more you probably feel it. You probably can't see on the screen. Maybe I'll turn the slide here. Now, I am lucky that my elbow can actually reach, you can see here on my knee. So when I pull in left leg, I squeeze out right thigh a little bit. And that gives such a nice stretch on the outer hip. I won't stay here for that long because we want to move to the next pose. So you can cross this right leg on top, almost like we did when we were doing one of our sequences, and then move onto your left side. Spinal twist. Right arm that ought to be somewhat free can reach out, maybe find the floor, maybe not. And breathe in all the way down, feeling how your belly rises as you inhale. Not sure we have done this exactly pose before, but I do it often in my fitness classes to stretch the quadriceps. That means the front thigh here. So stay on the side. Again, you might take a look before. So I'm staying on the side, almost like I'm sleeping in bed. I take my hand as my pillow and take a hold of the foot here on the top leg. Try to keep my balance. And then tuck this heel in towards the glutes. And this might stretch my thighs even if I take this knee a little bit further back. Move my hip forward a little bit. Avoiding the tendency to take this top heel and move it down or in between the crack there. I want to centralize my heel somewhat over the top glute, my buttocks. Letting go. Coming back. 3 stretches on the other side. So left leg. So again, you can do pigeon pose and just take the rest of the poses together with us. This time left leg out to the side. And make sure your spine is on the floor so you don't lift the hip up a lot. Maybe it feels better if it does, do that, but I like my long spine on the floor. You can close your eyes. Acknowledge any stretching sensations in your body. Then crossing left leg on top, kind of just locking it in. And then move on to your right side. And just wiggle your way around. I like to stay on my mat because the floor is a little bit cold. And hook this top hand so I'm not falling back. Other arm goes out to the side. And spinal twists obviously get into the glutes, but also the lower back. So some days my lower back feels tight and stiff, and other days it's more like butter soft feeling. So just again, you can close your eyes and notice what you're feeling in your lower back today. Maybe your spine is cracking and giving you a little bit of release. Then staying on your side, unwrapping your legs. This thigh stretch. Resting here. And if you have any knee injuries or anything, you don't have to take the heel all the way to the buttocks, but as much as you can. And if you for some reason really are really tight, you might have a strap. You should just hold on to the foot here with your strap. So what kind of seeds would you like to plant? Is it in your work life, or is it at home with your family? Let go of a leg and find resting pose. Make sure you don't get cold, so you might take a blanket. It can either be on you or underneath your knee joint or underneath your head, or whatever feels super nice today. So it'll be 3 minutes of rest, and I'll take my timer on here. So find a place where you can rest, palms facing up and toes pointing out. And you might choose to visualize how a seed is planted. Maybe seeds in your kids or at work or in your friendship. And you can plant the seed, you can water it, nourish it, but you cannot force it to grow. It will start growing in its own time. As we finish this class, I hope that you feel like you're invested some time in yourself, your mood and your whole being. Nurtured this seed that is also your soul, body and mind. Move your fingers and toes. And more of your body. That might evolve into a stretch or hucking in your knees, fetal pose on the side. And if you're ready, or you might not be, then you just stay on the mat. Come into a seat. So as we finish up the class, I'll just read the verse here again. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. from my heart to your heart, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, blessed day, and make sure you plant a lot of seeds around in the world. Bye.